Should I use subs slash should I hire my own in-house crews?
That's a good question. Uh, I had a really, really long, meaningful conversation yesterday with a business owner about just this. You and I were talking about earlier, and
Mm,
yeah, I here's the thing. Yes, that if especially if uh, you're early on, it's absolutely the easiest, most efficient way to run your company because it's hard to it's super hard. I had 16 in-house employees at one time, labor crews. When I was running the crews, I'd have we had two crews of 8 essentially is what we would do, and you know it was good because I would bounce back and forth between jobs. I'd keep production moving. I would keep things rolling. But I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know how to hire someone to manage those guys. I didn't know, there's so many things I didn't know. With subs, you technically don't even need to know. But the price comes with that. So I've done the math. If I did in-house labor and I had a good production manager or good superintendent that ran my job sites, I could get my cost of an entry level roof system down to about $60 a square. I've done the math multiple times. I know I could get to that point if I had a well-oiled machine for that. I pay about $100 a square for subs, so significantly higher for my cost in my bid. But dude, I have no. If I have a callback, my subs go take care of it, so I don't have that lost time. So there's no that burden that comes with doing roofs. You know, for instance, we had one earlier this year. It was a commercial job, and a storm, like not a rain, a freaking storm come out of nowhere, peeled the rubber up while they were putting it down, rained inside of this commercial building, got a bunch of really, really high level documents wet. So they had to freeze dry these documents, and it cost $90,000 on a $70,000 project with subs. Fortunately, we do have insurance. Everybody's got insurance.
yeah.
I'm not eating that cost. So there are times where the subcontracting thing comes in handy, but the amount of money that I spend and the difference, at some point, if I continue in business long enough, I will go back to some in-house crews. Um, here's the thing though, with repair business, it has to be in-house. There's not hardly any subs that want to screw with it. You're going to pay way too much. You're not going to make it. Like my subs charge me minimum $300 a repair, and that's minimum. So there's not hardly any money to make on repairs if you're subbing it out. If I have an in-house guy, a minimum repair, my cost may only be 100 to 150 bucks. So I can actually generate a little bit of profit on that $500 repair, um, with an in-house guy. Plus, you have a little more control of his schedule. Not a little bit. You have full control of his schedule, where subs, you really don't control their schedule. Um, so it's just a different style of business. But early on, subs 100%. It's just so much freaking easier. You can focus on your company. You don't have to focus on getting work done. You can focus on how the business operates, and how everything, kind of becomes a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I agree with that. Dave Sullivan says to sell your business, you'll build in a lot more value if you have your own crews, especially in commercial. Anyone can hire a sub. And I think that there's a good point too. But I think that the other thing that builds a lot of value in your business is actually being profitable. So it's like I think you have to be at a certain scale. To me, this is one of the best because I'm a little skeptical of like PE funds and roll-ups. I get that that's happening, but I'm skeptical that they're going to be able to do it the same way they've done it in other industries because roofing is such a large ticket one-off. But one of the best arguments I've seen for why that model works is because they can pull together multiple companies in one area. So then they have a lot more volume. And then it does actually make sense to hire your own crews because you can keep them busy. And so then you can increase the value by bringing in crews, as to Dave's point. But then And I mean, you don't have to be a roll up to do this. You can also just have a larger team, larger company. But you have to be at a certain point to where you can essentially guarantee constant work for that company or for that crew before you can think about it. And that's my viewpoint on it, is like there comes a point, and to Dave's point, it's like there comes a point where yes, you can do that and it'll build value in your business and there'll be some efficiency things. But that's also a whole other side of the business that you have to manage. That's got to have HR, payroll, time tracking. So there's other also considerations. Like you're probably also going to increase your admin cost. So you just have to be at a certain scale. I don't know if you have thoughts on that, Scott.
Yeah, I think Dave's 100% right, but at the same time, PE's buying up companies left and right. I've got an offer on the table for myself, and they know full and well I sub everything out. And it
You're
is
okay with it?
wild to me that they're willing to buy a company that literally all we are. I've said this time and time again. We're just a sales company. Like we're no different than Cutco. Like no different. All we're doing is just going and selling. We do nothing else. I mean, obviously we take responsibility for everything and we make sure things happen. But at the same time, like we have nothing under our roof that gets roofs done. Like, it's just some sales guys going to appointments. And honestly, I mean, not to knock my sales guys because I've got some damn good ones, but with not a whole lot of training, anybody can do that. Like, it's not a like you don't have to be some high level trim carpenter or something to go sell a roof. Like, go through GAF's training modules and then do a sales class and you could probably be a pretty high level sales guy. Like, so it's amazing to me that I believe Dave's right, but at the same time, they're buying these freaking things up left and right, even though you don't have any labor. You have no skilled tradesmen on your staff because HVAC was totally different. Everybody was buying up HVAC, but it's because you had a ton of HVAC techs that were very skilled at their craft, and you acquired all that knowledge. Today, they're not really acquiring a whole hell of a lot of knowledge. You're just acquiring a bunch of salespeople.